What you are observing here in the present moment is actually XRP reaching the targets that we were talking about just last week, or just actually a few days ago, marking off the very likely bottom based on statistics that we had performed. And from that, we were expecting a top side of 211.78, and presently the 30-minute candle that's printing right now with 7 minutes and 58 seconds to go and counting has actually touched that exact 211.78 that we spoke of days and days ago. So I'm very excited here to see these targets come into fruition as we were observing the high probability of floor being found over the last few videos, despite the negative sentiment over some of the comments and some of the other influencers as well. So congratulations to those who did follow. And yeah, but aside from that, guys, I want to go ahead and just take a look at the algorithms here, because they have something interesting to show. But before we do so, please do me a favor. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. This is ARCa, and let's go ahead and take a look at the Omega Light. Guys, this is the Omega Light giving us the buy signal at about 206.01, and this was a massive, massive buy signal as we just came back, tested, created a new little higher low, and then the thing continued on that massive upside. Now, Alpha Light actually gave us a little bit of an advantage here at 205.70, okay, guys? So Alpha Light absolutely nailing it at 0.030 cents faster than the Omega Light. Now, guys, please do me as well. I mean, it would be so because this is a bullish formation. I'm sorry, a bullish type of algorithm, and the other one is set to expose the bearish stuff, right? But make sure to get your butts down into the description below and grab both of these, right? You'll see the links, the square links down there. They're available right now at an immense discount, and they're not going to be available at that price for very long, so make sure to capture them before they go away. Okay, guys, so now here is also this. Check this out. We were observing Bitcoin just yesterday, and we were noticing that we were in a more immediate short-term pennant, and the bull pennant, although it had a little bit of trouble here, which we mentioned, had a very, very interesting accumulation or set of distribution signals with a very much weakened bear side, okay? And that was what we were kind of observing here as a potential topside target of that 88,005. Now, in the video yesterday, we also explained that we could get an upside around that 87,000 flat, and we are hovering just above that right now, so very much accurate in those targets as well. Okay, guys, so now that we have all of these things here, is there anything that's currently leading the markets via fundamentals? Well, I think we do have something here in play, but check this out, guys. So we are looking at Trump expressing hope that Russia and Ukraine will reach a deal this week, which he believes will be bullish for the markets. Now, guys, I will tell you this. Bullish for the markets is not only for the crypto markets. We're talking about broader markets, okay? It would be everything in general, including traditional risk-on assets, okay, guys? So all of that stuff could be pertinent here into the coming week. So we got to keep our eyes and ears open for this possibility as well, and also for, I believe, what we mentioned yesterday too, or the day before yesterday, as the ETF, I believe was the Japanese Bitcoin ETF, set to launch as well. Okay, a few things in line here that can lead price action to continuing upside. Of course, we still have Jerome Powell, I believe, with a speech next Wednesday, so that's going to add some volatility in the markets, guys. I will say that, you know, we're still under the conditions of, like I've been telling you, right? Trading the ranges here, catching some cash, and having this cash available to load for the long-term bags onto the XRP bag, right, guys? I want to be able to describe to you and explain different ways to play the market, okay? So anyway, like I said, let's go ahead and block the visibility here from the drawings and pull up volatility versus momentum, as we're going to be able to tell what is a higher likelihood for this immediate short term. Okay, so 5-minute time frame, downside on the direction bias. So you can use an RSI, a stochastic momentum, you can use moving averages, you can use whatever you want, guys, okay? This would be your linear volatility, right? So say for example we expand, right? That would be acceleration. If we contract here, that would be deceleration. And it is direction neutral. Okay, so the direction bias would be your moving average, your momentum signatures, whatever that is, right? RSIs, any of that stuff. So here, stochastic momentum is certainly faced to the downside with some contraction, although it feels a little balanced. Okay, so yeah, I think that it's near a support for now. As soon as we start breaking below this 210.82, then there could be further downside into that, but we have to determine that. 10-minute time frame indicates a potential low, and it certainly shows that it could be finding a bottom soon. Now, I will say though that it feels like it's trying to contract as well, as volatility hasn't really entered just yet. I would really like to see the 10-minute time frame kind of recover here and start to close the candle at around 211.30 so that we can still maintain that upside. But the 15-minute time frame may not support that. The 15-minute time frame with 2 minutes and 43 seconds to go. Remember that we are at 9:27 p.m. Pacific time right now. I do believe that the 15-minute time frame may have that 211.15 to 211.32 as resistance before a downside continuation, although the downside is very contractive and it does not show any type of conviction for that downside. 30-minute time frame does show downside as well, and let's see how much downside we have, right? Let's see how much we can take out of this. Okay, so there's still downside in that bi-hourly time frame, a little bit on that 3-hour, and maybe the 4-hour. Okay, so there we go. I would say that we have just about 6 hours of downside, but that 6 hours of downside doesn't really look like it, huh? So, okay, so if that's the case, I think I'm just going to use a 4-hour time frame here since we just opened up that 4-hour time. Okay, so if we got a 4-hour downside, that means that we're looking at about a 3-cent decline, right? So 0.0307. So the ATR low on that would be at about 207.85. Okay, so 207.85, let's go ahead and mark it off, right? So 207.85 would be around here, and it looks like one of those targets that we have kind of already looked at before. So let's go ahead and remove the drawings here and take a look at that 207.85. Well, yeah, very close to some of the targets that we were already observing. Now, some things that can prevent price action from getting into that 207.85 will certainly be located within this range here that I'm about to point out to you, okay? Heads up on this range between the 208.88 to just about the 209.64, as price action may get denied entry into lower targets, and it will be confluent to your 4-hour 50% prior bar, right? As you can get a 60 to 70% prior bar retrace, that would be the target right about there. Okay, guys, so heads up on that bottom side, and I think that there may be a secondary opportunity here to get some to load up for a continuation upside. So let's find out if we have a continuation to the upside now that we've observed those lower targets, right, guys? Okay, so if we do have these three targets here at minus 50% always, 208.88, 209.27, and 209.63, do we have upside continuation? Well, technically, yes. The 4-hour time frame would be that upside continuation factor. The 6-hour time frame, upside continuation. We're starting to get some indications of volatility expansion from critical contraction. That usually means, guys, if we have critical contraction in many other time frames, here's your 4, then that could lead towards a gigantic upside leading in shortly. Okay, guys, here's all that contraction on a bi-hourly. What about the hourly time frame? Hourly time frame is starting to expand from all that contraction. Guys, I think that we are getting prepared for another move to the upside, which could be pretty damn big. Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out what that next upside target could be. Still upside signals and critical contraction all the way into the 12-hour holy shit. Okay, your daily time frame is indicative of critical contraction, and that was all during this downside, guys. That was it, right? So now your daily time frame is pushing up like this, and we're actually starting to curve towards that upside. So no downside just yet. No downside on the bi-hourly just yet. Your bi-daily, sorry, and your 3-day time frame not expressing downside. 4-day not at all. 5-day, weekly. Okay, finally, bi-weekly time is indicating here some of the downside, but that means, guys, what I was calculating here is I was looking for how much upside we have left. So how much upside we have left is a bi-weekly's worth of price action of upside before it starts to decompress. We have to see in 2 weeks or whatever that is. Okay, so the bar opened at around 211.97. That means that we have about 54 cents to the upside for this bar to succeed its statistic. That means that we would be reaching $2.66. Damn. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the hell that 266 even looks like. Okay, immediate short-term time frame. We're in our resistances right now. This is some relevant resistances along the way. I will say that I'm just going to start getting rid of some of these bars here because I don't think they are pertinent here. Of course, we're going to see, we're going to see the resistances as we move along, right, guys? Of course, we're going to see things, very likely face some hurdles along this upside. The markets don't move eternally to the upside as much as I wish they did. They really don't. Okay, so this biweekly signal, guys, is indicating a 266 top, which is located right around here. Okay, so I will say that these areas of resistance are the ones that I'm presently looking at now. Okay, so I'm looking at a 264.66 to about a top side of around 259.48 coming in the next few days. Okay, guys, so that is a gigantic upside from where we are right now. So should we make some type of entry at these 209s, right, and we got that upside, let's just go ahead and give that a quick measurement here, because you're looking at a pretty intense upside signal here based on percentages. So you would be looking at an almost 30% gain from that bottom side entry, which could absolutely indicate massive turn in the markets. Okay, guys, so I will tell you this. Okay, as long as we are below the areas of around this zone here, okay, we need to start closing above 299 and 290 in order for us to start gaining momentum for a new all-time high. What I will say is that Bitcoin, just like I mentioned yesterday and the day before yesterday, sorry, and actually all this week, it is indicative of making new highs, okay? So what I am going to say is that, yes, and also, the miner's reserve and all that good stuff, likely putting in the bottom here, and the signal just fired as well. I'm going to say, guys, that, we have a couple hurdles to get out of the way. First of all, the 88,008 to 91,000 zone, 91.3 would be important here. We need to get over the $95,000 area and close some daily closures following the $100,200 zone, 99,000 to 101, right? Really, we need to get some closes there. If we start acquiring, guys, I'm going to say this right now. If we start closing above that 99 to about 103 with daily closings, that could be indicative of a Bitcoin upside to maybe anywhere between 116 to 100 and maybe 23,000 Bitcoin, all the way up there, guys. So that's going to make me worried as soon as we get up there, because that could be massive bull trap zone, and then we would experience something else that I don't know what. Okay, so we have to keep our eyes peeled for that opportunity. Okay, so watch out as the markets are starting to be very, very interesting here, but we have been noting this upside probability for over a week now, and now we are practicing. Okay, guys, so please watch out with price action here. Now you know the targets, just heads up on this, right? Because I mean, if we can get some type of entry around that 209.63 and this thing just starts bursting above this 212 resistance, 213 resistance, man, we're going to start sliding up some interesting targets into the 216, 217s consolidation, upside into the 218s, 220 consolidation, and then all the way up to your 224, which could be 223.51 to 224.65. So just heads up on those resistances, guys. They are coming up. Remember that this is all that you're going to learn inside of the master's course. It's still going here, guys. I still actually have some seats available for the Discord availability for the live stage. So hit that link, guys, because I'm not gonna honor that again. This is $100 for an 8-week mentorship. So hit the link in the description below for the master's course. Get your seat reserved, and we should be sending out the welcome packets now to many other people, actually, starting today and tomorrow. So make sure to get that going, guys. I think this is a pretty good place to leave off. Any questions or concerns, just reach out to me and we will be good to go. I'll talk to you very, very, very soon. All right, team? All right. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever, ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the Bell Mañana. Adios, team.